Dalangutaka dikutaka tadinginatom Raja Kumari, daughter of the king. How long you think that you could keep up with my tempo? Dance to the rhythm, dance in the Himalaya. I grew up in Los Angeles, so around a lot of West Coast hip hop, around a lot of influences. I started learning Indian classical dance when I was 6 years old, and I was really lucky because I had a guru come from India and like live in my home and teach me, so I was able to learn this like pure version of the art form. And I think because most of my childhood was seen through the lens of this classical dance, it shaped me in every way possible. Not only the way that I dress or the way that I see the world in these characters, but it really exemplified what I found to be the most beautiful thing about Indian culture, and that's the colors and the music and the, you know, just the approach to everything. So I always wanted to put that into my music. I always knew that it was going to be important to put the culture first, because growing up in America, I never saw anyone that looked like me. There wasn't one person on TV or in movies, you know, that was Indian that I could relate to. And there was a short period of time where I would be like, oh, maybe I should dye my hair blonde, or maybe like I should change my name to something easier to say. And then there was just this point where I was like, no, I love my culture. I've spent my whole life studying it. I need to find a way to make it cool. So like, what if I became a pop star and I just put Indian classical dance on a different stage? You know, what would that do for the culture? I think it's just been important to like blend it, whether it's with the jewelry or the bindi or the music or, you know, just the visuals. It's just been important to me to put the things that I love about my culture into my music. When I basically got the Fugees album, the score, my brother gave it to me when I was really young, and Lauryn Hill just changed my life. You know, I heard her speaking knowledge, and I heard her, you know, on all these different rhythms, and I noticed very quickly that rap was very similar to Indian classical music in a lot of ways, mostly the rhythmic qualities of it. You know, in Indian classical music, we do these things called thals. So it's like, dalangutaka dikutaka tadinginatom da kitataka jam. If you're rapping, you know, when she's like, I play my enemies like a game of chess, that's like, takita takadim takadinata. And I was like, wait, hold on. After I worked with Gwen Stefani, and, you know, she inspired me so much. Like being in the room with her, and, you know, she was going through a very public, you know, experience like with her personal life, but she was so vulnerable and so willing to share those emotions in the writing room. And she was not scared of like putting herself out there. And if I want to be who I'm supposed to be, I need full commitment. So she taught me about full commitment, 100%. Whenever I'm songwriting, I always try to put a little bit of myself on the record, you know, just whatever it was, whether it's like an Indian rhythm or a melody that reminds me of something that I grew up listening to. I think with Gwen, it was really crazy full circle because I listened to her so much growing up, and you know, she was from California, she wore the bindis, you know, she was someone who was kind of making Indian culture popular. So I'm sure there was a lot of her voice in me already growing up listening to her. And then to write with her and then kind of hear my voice in her, it was incredible experience. It was like, wow, this is full circle. This is like a crazy cluster of scenario. Like, this is insane.
1 2 1 2, my killer don't talk. Make sure you don't get in our way. Get in our way. Make sure you don't get in our way. Get in our way. Make sure you don't get in our way.
I made the Shook video with this amazing director, Gil Green. He really understood that I wanted to be like a spiritual gangster. And I think that there's like notes of that throughout. I think my favorite part of the video is that like gangster tea party that I'm having. I think that was the biggest surprise of the video. And when I'm creating my visuals, I try to think about them in many ways, not just like linear, like, oh, look at me in a cute outfit, I'm wearing Indian jewelry. It's like, what else can I pack into that visual? Indian classical dance tells stories with their hands, like, oh, here's a goat, I'm going to churn the butter. Like, you know, we tell stories. So it's like, I want to use every moment of my expression to like tell a story, whether it's about the mood or something I went through. If I put a throne in there, it's not just because it's like a motif, it's like, no, I conquered something and I want you to see me as a king. Chapter 1 for me was the come up. It was really about setting intention and manifesting what you desire. Like there was lyrics like, just a dollar and a dream, now we're certified, or as long as you believe in you. And it was a lot about like what I wanted, like cementing that. Chapter 2 is like, once you start manifesting things, you start getting what you truly desire, what are you willing to do to protect that? as I gained the love of the people, I became very protective of the people. And I think that these like battle anthems came out of me, because when you're the daughter of the king, you must protect the people. And I definitely take this title seriously. So this album, people could say it's aggressive. It's definitely more of a rap album than my former project, the first chapter. But it's really about like, who are you truly? Like, not just like where you come from, not like where you're born, but like what flows through your veins. Like, what are you willing to do for what's important to you? And that's really what Bloodline is about. For me, India is so rich with culture and art and colors and music. And I think there's not enough girls that really participate in that. A lot of girls like stop going to school around the time that they start menstruating. Like, they don't even have these opportunities. So what does somebody who was born in America, first generation, what do you do with the American dream? You really, project yourself into a space that's was never really for you, and make that your space, and in turn, inspire other females to take the space that's actually for them and to claim that.